Tarif, how would you describe yourself? Because I know you were telling me you're pretty much like a manosphere influencer, right?
Yes, I would describe myself as that. And
But what does that mean?
someone who promotes masculinity, men's rights. It's a very
Like red pill?
red pill, yeah.
What is red pill? How would you define like red pill?
Well, if we go back to when the Matrix came out with the red and blue pill.
Oh, like the movie, yeah.
Yeah. The red pill symbolizes truth. The blue pill symbolizes lies in the movie. And the red pill those pills have been used to describe praxeologies or ideologies such as feminism and the red pill movement, or like what we call the manosphere.
So it's pretty much like blue pill is left wing, red pill is right wing?
Yes.
Okay, so I guess what I want to ask you now is, you described blue pill as like feminism. How did you even get into like, this red pill, blue pill, right wing, left wing, like how'd you even discover it, and what made you become like right wing?
It all started back in 2018 when I've been reading like religious texts before that.
Which religious texts?
Various religions like Hinduism, Islam, Christianity, Buddhism, and like...
Are you Muslim?
Yes, I'm Muslim, but
You've read all of the texts?
most of them. And I like Bhagavad Gita, Mahabharata, Ramayana, the Puranas, the Upanishads, the Vedanta, the Quran.
I haven't even read all those. That's crazy. You've been through all of them.
Yes, and the Bible, the Torah, like all of them.
But how did this lead you to becoming like right wing? You know what I mean? Reading these religious texts, like...
That's a good question. A lot of the contents of the religious texts tend to be very like masculine oriented.
Conservative?
Not necessarily conservative, but like masculine oriented and towards like like promoting male values.
So you're saying these like religious texts were kind of created by men for men?
Not necessarily. The origins of these religious texts are unclear, but in my belief, these are written by like divine beings who are like gods, and saintly beings like Vedvyasa, who wrote the Mahabharata and Ramayana. Vedvyasa, whoever wrote the Ramayana, I forgot. It's another sage. A lot of the religious texts tend to have like
Masculine themes?
Masculine themes, yes. And through reading those texts, I found that a lot of the religions, like Hinduism, Islam, Christianity, they tend towards, like I said, masculine themes, like tend to lean towards them in a sort of sense. And I feel that...
Well, because you're Muslim, right? Mm-hmm. So I definitely do feel like... Well, I've never read the Quran personally, but I do know all the Muslims that I'm friends with, they have a very like... masculine, definitely like a conservative like mindset, you know what I mean? I think that's because the religion is very disciplined in a way.
Exactly, yeah. Islam has a very masculine theme. They do have a respect for like women, but like for the most part it's very like masculine dominated.
Can you kind of maybe explain a bit why you think that personally, that like Islam is like a very like I don't know, I don't really want to call it like a masculine religion, because I feel like that's kind of like just simplifying the religion itself, but it definitely, I would say, it teaches men how to be men in a sense. But I want to know your perspective on how that kind of shaped your life growing up.
When I was younger, I was actually shaped by feminist views, my brother's feminist views. He used to go to this university, by the way, and he.
Your brother used to go to the U of A.
Yeah, he used to go to the U of A. He actually espoused a lot of his views. He would expose me to his views whenever I'm just chilling out with him. Mm-hmm. He would usually just tell me certain anarchist talking points.
So your brother was like super left wing?
Yeah, that he was like...
Is he still?
Yeah, he's still left wing.
Okay, so then that's kind of crazy. So you kind of grew up on these like, I don't know, I guess like feminist, left wing. What else does that entail?
That entails...
like LGBTQ rights type? type of thing, or
Yes, absolutely. Like feminism, LGBTQ rights.
equality, like fairness,
Yes.
religious tolerance.
Yes, those kind of topics. Yeah,
So then you grew up this way. How did you make the shift to becoming like more of like a right winger?
I became a right winger because I believe in capitalism,
Capitalism?
industriousness. Not that like left wings can't be industrious and hardworking, but it's more of a conservative value to be hardworking.
But what was it, like a specific situation that happened that made you become a right winger? Was there like a moment in your life that you were like, I can't do this leftism nonsense anymore?
Firstly, is to defy my brother's beliefs because I felt that his beliefs were hindering me in my.
Why?
Because I felt that his beliefs were too far left, anti-establishment, anti-school, anti-education, anti-government, anti.
But you said he went to the U of A.
Yeah, he's kind of a
Anarchist.
anarchist,
But
he sort of contradicts himself sometimes. He says one thing, but he does another thing.
okay, so you're telling me you realized his views went too far in the
Yeah.
left direction. Could you give me like a specific example?
He would say school is so bad, you shouldn't go there. It's slavery, and like it's all these bad things.
That's interesting because I would argue, you told me, well, actually, I don't know. I don't want to put any words in your mouth. But like, for example, Andrew Tate, very well-known, popular right-winger. Is that not the same type of ideology he spews? The school system is a lie. It's a scam. You shouldn't go, and you should make money on your own.
He does say that. There are some times where he says instead of playing video games, go to school. You should make money on your own, right?
But overall, I've seen him say like college is a scam, like many times.
Yes, that is true. Yeah, if you can make money on your own, but if you can't, go to college, go to school.
So you would still recommend college to others?
Yeah, I would definitely. Yeah.
Okay. So pretty much what I'm getting from this is that, you had a moment with your brother where you realized, okay, maybe he's too far gone. And then what? Like, did you start researching red pill, like right winger, like Republican stuff on your own? Like, what was your kind of first introduction to the manosphere?
Actually, I started watching like red pill content.
Like what? Who?
Matt Cross from the 33 Secrets.
I don't think I've heard of him.
He's a YouTuber. He's one of my influences in the red pill space. Like I used to watch his content like regularly.
Yeah.
And I felt that he was very articulate and coherent, and he knew how to speak his talking points, and he lived by what he spoke. And for 3 years.
What was like his most inspiring message?
Ooh, there's so many of his messages. I mean, his quotes from him that I found inspiring. Let me think. He would say that do not simp for women.
Do not simp for women. Okay.
Yeah.
Why do you think that's like kind of like an inspiring message? Like, do not simp for women?
Because there are a lot of men who tend to be pushovers around them.
But like, what does that mean? Like, what would it mean for like a guy to be like a pushover for like a girl?
Oh, that's a good question. Like someone who just placates to them, who doesn't have boundaries.
Like, they don't follow their own will. Like, they're just listening to their partner, their girlfriend, whatever they want, right?
Right. And they do not have self-respect to enforce their boundaries and their.
So like, pretty much like a guy that like lets their girl like walk all over them.
Right. And
Have you dealt with that before?
Yes.
Like dating?
Yes.
Any examples, personal stories you want to share, maybe of a time when you were a simp and then you realized like, I can't do this anymore?
Yeah. In fact.
Are you comfortable sharing that? It's up to you.
Nah.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, like
But it's safe to say you've had bad experiences with women.
Yes, because I'm not saying to hate women.
Of course.
But-
Right? Like, no, I don't think you have hate in your heart for anyone.
No hate in my heart for anyone, but
But
I would say that the red pill has taught me, and I learned how to develop a spine, how to develop self-respect, and how to develop healthy boundaries to the very minimum at least. And it has taught me how to sort of navigate gender relationships like with more elegance and grace.
I'm gonna give you like a hypothetical scenario. You tell me if it's simping or not. Let's say my girlfriend wants to go to the club with her friends. If I let her go, is that simping?
Ooh.
Like she wants to go to the club with her friends, get a couple drinks with the girl. Is that simping if I let my girlfriend do that?
As long as, like, can I be honest with you?
Be 100% honest. I want to hear your genuine opinion, but also remember I am gonna post this.
Right.
So like, yeah, like
As long as she doesn't cheat on you.
okay, yeah, that's reasonable. That's reasonable.
And there's a difference between chivalry and simping.
Okay.
Chivalry is being like a gentleman.
Yeah.
Simp is just being just this pushover guy that has no self-respect. So there's a difference between a chivalrous and simping.
Okay, let me ask you this. Let's say my girlfriend wanted to go hang out with a couple guys she was friends with, and these are like close friends of hers, so she's kind of known them for a while, and I let her go hang out with them. What do you think of that?
Ooh. There's a high risk for cheating, for sure, but
You mentioned the cheating, right? But I feel like if you're in a relationship with someone, it's someone you do trust, right?
yes.
I feel like wouldn't that already come with the presumption that like they wouldn't cheat, I guess?
There are always chances of being cheated on.
Yeah, you never know. That's true.
Yeah, that is true. And
But like, would you consider me a simp if I did let my girlfriend hang out with these guys that she's friends with? Like just her and like them.
ooh, there's a high risk of cheating, for honestly speaking, but do so at your own risk. Yeah.
And I guess like last scenario here, let's say I want to marry my girlfriend, but she doesn't want to take my last name, and I end up taking hers. What do you think?
If you guys are comfortable with that, then
Oh, so you have no problems with that?
like whether you take the name or she takes the name.
Okay. Do you think there are a lot of modern day simps in the 2026 dating realm?
Oh yes, so many simps. Like in the comments, people will just say, "Oh, you're so beautiful," but what does that ever result to?
Are you talking about like just dudes commenting on like random like IG models?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll agree that is kind of simpy. That's kind of weird.
Exactly.
Cuz I feel like that's kind of like I don't know. I wouldn't really consider that simp. I feel like simping is like going above and beyond out of your way for a girl when it's like clearly they don't have that same respect or interest in you.
Yes, exactly. It's like buying like expensive gifts for a girl that doesn't even know you exist. That would be considered like.
But I feel like I don't really see that as much as, you're making it out to be. You know what I'm saying? I kind of feel like the problem with dating right now is that there's a lot of dudes that are just lonely. Like there's a lot of guys out there that have never even talked to a girl. Second of all, they're afraid to talk to women. And then third of all, they kind of blame women themselves for their inability to talk to women. So what do you think of that?
I mean, it's not completely men's fault. Like, there has to be, like, sort of, like...
So, like, how would you split the responsibility between men and women for, like, the current dating market?
That's a good question. I wouldn't blame it completely on women either.
But there are some people that do. What do you think of that?
Then you're just using... Like, if you're just blaming them for no reason, that's called a scapegoat, right?
Yeah.
But if there's a reason... A lot of men are actually scared because, like... Because they might do something creepy or wrong with women. Like, they have that perceived...
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like, you're saying a lot of dudes are afraid to talk to women because they're afraid that their approach might be perceived as, like, hostile or uncomfortable towards the girls.
Yes. And they just need that assurance that that it's not as bad as it seems, right? They like to blame it on their race, their looks, their height, their money, their status.
Oh, like men are saying, like, this is why I can't get any dates. Because I'm, like, I'm not tall enough. I'm not, like, I don't know, white, for example. Or I'm, like, too broke.
Right. They like to blame it on things that they cannot control, like intrinsic factors that cannot be changed.
And what do you think of that?
I just think that
That's like a victim mindset?
that is a victim mindset, but there's some truth to it that those factors have somewhat effect on dating. But
Yeah, definitely.
but it's
That's
not
like ties into black pill, right?
right. It ties into the black pill, but the red pill is more of like women like men who are like, how to say it, not necessarily bad boys, like very abrasive, degenerate types.
Like, what percent of women do you think like the quote unquote like bad boy, abrasive, disrespectful type of men?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Is it more than 50% or less than 50%?
Most women, yeah.
So more than 50%.
But there are good women who like a gentleman,
Yeah.
who like men who are refined, who are like not pushovers, but who are chivalrous to them.
So do you think that's the problem? Like most girls are going for the bad boys, they're not going for the men that respect them?
I think so, yeah. But like still, I've seen a respectful man get women, so it's not the end of the world.
So yeah, it's not like that's not like the only way to paint the story, pretty much.
Exactly, yeah.
Going back to what I was asking you originally, I was asking you with the problems of the current dating market, what percentage of that, like the fault is women, and then what percentage of the fault is men?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Like, because you said they both kind of bear a responsibility, right, towards the dating crisis. So, like, actually, I guess more specifically, why is it women's fault, and then why is it men's fault?
Why is it women's fault? Maybe women can have strange standards.
You think so?
They-
Like what, for example?
Like on dating apps, you see all these like strange standards for height.
Yeah, I have seen things where it's like you got to be over 5'10", you got to be over 6 foot. Me, I'm very small, so
Yeah. And like they tend to women. You have to be careful. I have to be careful what I say, like because I don't want to get this canceled.
Take your time to formulate your thoughts.
Women are very picky. They want.
Would you say men are picky to the same degree or no?
Well, they're not the gatekeepers of relationships and sexual intercourse per se.
You're saying women are the gatekeepers.
Yes. They choose what man comes into their life. So a woman has to be more careful than a man in terms of finding what kind of like. Well, a man just has to be concerned about if the woman is beautiful, right? Most of the time. Well, there are times where men choose like women that are not attractive, and that's fine. But like,
So are you trying to say that like a lot of men are like shallow in the way that they date, like they prioritize like looks?
sort of like they should also prioritize personality too, like having a pleasant personality.
I'm not asking like if they should. I'm asking, do you think most men are pretty shallow?
I would say they do prioritize looks, yes. Yeah. And honestly, I think they should. The fact of the matter is only 5 to 10% of women are actually attractive. So there's that thing you have to...
Where did you get that number from? 5 to 10? That seems very like specific.
It's on the bell curve, yeah.
Oh, these are like actual like studies?
Statistics, yeah.
Okay.
And in terms of men, only one out of 1,000 men are 8 plus in looks. So 8 out of 10 plus. So like 8 to 10. Okay. So very few attractive men, and that just proves that the black pill actually is kind of demoralizing in this sort of sense, and it promotes that most men should just give up on dating just because they don't meet a looks criteria.
Can you kind of give like a summary of like black pill looks maxing for the viewers?
The black pill is essentially it's all started with mewing. I've been seeing like content creators like Hamza's promoting mewing on the web. I felt that like I used to I even mew sometimes to sort of accentuates the jaw, and it makes it more.
So would you describe yourself as a black pillar looks maxer?
No, absolutely not.
Why not?
Because I do not think that looks are the sole reason that women are attracted to men.
Okay. That I would agree with that. I think we agree on that.
Yes, absolutely. I think looks has very somewhat, but not like this. It doesn't fulfill the entire equation of what attracts women to men.
Okay, I see. I kind of want to ask you like, what do you think of like incels who, I guess like incels like someone that's like involuntarily celibate, right? So that means like they are not having sex. But it's not their choice.
Right.
It's because no one wants to have sex with them.
Right.
Like, do you think we're kind of in like a bit of like an incel crisis?
That's a good question. I mean, like, I've been talking about them. Like, it's one thing to be that, an incel.
Yeah.
It's another thing to just, like, attack women, just, like, do physical attacks on women because they won't have sex with them. That's completely
That's
unacceptable.
wrong.
Yeah, that's wrong.
You
Yeah.
condemn that.
Yeah, I condemn that. I'm not. I condemn the incel or inkwell community.
Yeah.
But I think like those who identifies that or who embody those practices of being an incel should probably at the very least seek therapy or psychiatrist.
I guess, why do you think a lot of men are struggling to get these dates and go on these women, out with these women?
That's a good question. They struggle to go on dates because lack of confidence, self-esteem. They lack, motivation to do it. They think that they might come across as creepy or weird, or they might actually, they think negative thoughts in their head. They might harass the woman accidentally, right? So they're more.
Well, I feel like it's pretty difficult to accidentally like harass a
Exactly.
woman.
I know, but like,
I guess the way they see it, they are afraid if they like even say hi or hello, the girl will just be like turned off and walk away.
exactly, yeah. Like they don't want to be off-putting to the woman in any sort of sense. So
So let me ask you, like, have you ever like cold approached like a woman on the street?
yeah,
And what do you do? Like, let's do a bit of role play here. Let's say I'm a girl. Obviously I'm not, but you know, I want you to approach me. All right, 3, 2, 1.
hi, how's it going?
Hi.
How's your day?
It's good. I'm just a bit hungry.
Oh, what do you like to eat?
I guess I like sushi.
Nice, I like sushi too. So, what restaurants do you like to eat sushi at?
I don't know, like Edo Japan.
Edo, that's a good option.
So are you gonna ask me out or what?
Sure.
Okay, I'm sold. Wow. Yeah, I think you hit all the boxes. You were respectful. You were polite. You asked me about myself. That made you feel like you were interested in me. So yeah, that was a pretty solid approach. Where do most men get it wrong?
They are too nervous. That's what I noticed. They don't know what to say. They just fumble with their words. They don't.
But you know what to say.
Yeah.
How did you learn this riz?
That's a good. It takes practice, and time and practice.
Are you still a supporter of Andrew Tate?
That's a good question. Andrew Tate. I like Andrew Tate still, but like,
What do you think about his allegations, though? I know that he was accused of human trafficking and then also sleeping with minors.
yes, his court case is pending in the UK, and it's about to in this year.
What was that court case about? Was it about sexual assault?
Yes, and it's pending.
So, which means it's ongoing, so nothing conclusive right now?
It's ongoing. Yeah. By June or July of this year, there's about to be a verdict going out as to if he will be guilty or not guilty, right?
Do you think Andrew Tate's advice is genuinely helpful? Like, let me ask you, would you be comfortable with your kids watching Andrew Tate's videos and consuming his content? Think about it.
The content that he says: be motivated, be hardworking, be ambitious, be energetic, be enthusiastic about what you do. Go about every day with a smile on your face. Be happy. Respect your parents. Respect your family. Honor God. Those are the things.
Those are all the good values he preaches. Now, what about the more controversial stuff? I will agree. There are some things he says that I do find, I don't know, I guess uplifting and inspiring. I definitely agree you should work hard and you should be disciplined, and sometimes you got to quit like the high dopamine activities
Right.
in order to focus on what you need to focus on.
Right.
But what about when he talks about like women needing to obey and like, I don't know, I guess submit to their man, stuff like that? Like, what do you think of that?
I definitely do believe that men are to be leaders in a relationship.
So you believe in like traditional gender roles?
Yes, absolutely. And I believe that women should definitely, I'm not saying that they should be disrespected, would definitely submit to their man. I'm not saying they should be slaves, but they should see men as an authority figure, as a guiding figure. Nowadays, there are very few men who are like leaders of men or alpha males who can actually be a good role model to women. When those good role models who are men come into their life, I feel that that would be life-changing for women. To have someone who's a good leader, who's strong, courageous, ambitious, masculine, and who's able to give guidance to the woman.
Let me ask you a question. What does it mean to be a masculine man?
Masculine man.
Like, what do they do? How do they act? What do they believe in? Like, what defines masculinity?
Masculinity, that's a good question. Masculinity is the qualities of strength, ambition, hard work, courage, machismo, what else?
Who would you say is the most masculine man to ever man? You know what I mean?
Ooh, I would say the classical Hollywood superstars like Clark Gable, Cary Grant, Clint Eastwood, even modern.
I only know Clint Eastwood. Okay, could you give me like a modern day example?
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise?
He's very masculine. He's very...
Shout out Tom Cruise. Yeah.
Tom Cruise, yeah. He's one of... He's like... You've seen his movies in Top Gun.
Yeah. Top Gun, I love Top Gun.
He's very risk-taking. He's very courageous.
Okay.
He's very bold.
Yeah.
So James Bond too, Sean Connery, I would say.
What do you think of someone like Dean Withers?
Oh my God, Dean Withers. He's very smart, but I don't know. I disagree a lot with what he says. He's very smart, and I'm not gonna deny that because
He knows how to debate.
he knows how to debate. Yeah, even Charlie Kirk acknowledged him, right?
Would you say Charlie Kirk is also like kind of in that manosphere? Like, would you say he's also like an inspiration for you?
No, my first inspirations were not Andrew Tate, were not Charlie Kirk, but were actually Matt Cross and, like I said, the religious texts. So Matt Cross is I felt.
Do you look up to the Prophet Muhammad?
Yes. I think his teachings are foundational for not only Islam but a lot of
Life in general.
life in general. Yeah, and almost 2 billion. He has almost 2 billion followers worldwide now. Yeah. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is very not only foundational but pivotal in understanding how the world is sort of like today, right?
So, can I ask you specifically what aspects of like blue pill, like left wing, do you think is like wrong? What are some leftist takes that you kind of disagree with?
That's a good question. Big question. Yeah. I disagree with that. It'll take me like there's a lot of things I disagree with.
Okay, let me ask you about specific things. What's your stance on abortion?
I disagree with it.
Why?
I'm not saying like the woman doesn't have any choice. In the end of the day, that's her choice. But I am strongly against.
Do you think it's like murdering innocent child?
Yeah. Every life is precious. I believe life is precious, and even before birth. And I wouldn't be here if I wasn't born. So I'm pro-life, and I'm pretty happy and I may have gone through some ups and downs in life, but I'm pretty content with my life.
Okay, let me ask you specifically. Okay, what if it's like a girl gets, sexual assault, that does happen, and she wants to get an abortion? Would you agree with her that she should get an abortion, or would you think like she should carry that baby all the way to birth?
That's a good question. I believe that she should get an abortion, yeah.
You think if it's cases of like sexual assault or then they should be allowed to abort that child?
Yes, otherwise there's no justification for it.
Okay, now let me ask you, what do you think if it's like incest?
Yeah.
Like it's like incest and then they want to abort it?
I would agree with the abortion in that. Like any abnormal cases, right?
Okay.
Any abnormal cases that require it, then I wouldn't have any contention.
Okay, I see. That's pretty reasonable.
Yeah. Otherwise, if there's no reasonable reason to do it, then I don't support it.
I see. Yeah. Okay, what do you think of like the LGBT community?
I don't necessarily agree with it, honestly. But
what aspect of it do you not agree with?
Yeah, I don't necessarily agree with it. But
Okay.
I'm not going to disrespect someone
Okay,
or
yeah.
bully someone
Yeah.
who's just because I don't understand it that much, or I don't In other words, if I understand, just because I don't understand another person that much or agree with their views or values, doesn't mean I'm going to bully them or disrespect them. I'm just going to respectfully disagree with them.
Okay.
And
So you still believe in mutual respect for anyone on any side of the aisle?
yes, yes.
But would you respect someone like Jeffrey Epstein?
He well, Jeffrey Epstein, no, but
That's good. That's good.
He was a Democrat, right? And he it doesn't matter what political party he was a Democrat, but he was a Democrat though.
Wait, but how are you saying it doesn't matter, but you're saying like he is a Democrat? You're pointing that fact.
You mentioned Jeffrey Epstein.
Okay, yeah. Well, he was friends with like people on both sides of the political aisle.
Yeah. He was friends with both sides. And it doesn't really matter what political party a person is for me.
yeah.
I've been on both sides, like I said. What matters is about character development and how strong they are as people.
Okay.
Like in terms of character, in terms of intelligence.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I want to go back to the original topic. I guess I want to ask you, right? Like you said, you may not agree with or understand the LGBTQ community, whatever, but you still would respect them. Like you'd still have a conversation with them, right?
Yeah.
So let me ask you, do you think being gay is a choice?
I don't know. I don't know the full scientific implications of it, honestly.
I'm assuming you're straight.
Yes, I'm sure.
You're heterosexual.
Yes.
Did you choose to be heterosexual?
I was taught to be by my family.
They taught you to be straight?
Yeah, because my family promotes traditional Islamic values. They're sort of liberal, but they taught me traditional Islamic values of being heterosexual or straight, and not. But personally, I wouldn't. At the same time, I'm like anti-bullying, anti-hate, like unnecessary hate.
Okay, so if there was like a gay kid getting bullied just simply because they were gay, like you'd say that's wrong?
Yeah, I'd say wrong. I don't agree with their beliefs, but I would definitely
Like you don't think someone should just get hated on for being part of the LGBTQ?
I believe they shouldn't be bullied. Yes,
Okay.
they shouldn't be hated on for no reason.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, because as you know, I would say I'm definitely very like left wing, you know. I believe in gay rights and stuff like that, you know. So it is it's nice to hear you say that you do believe they deserve the respect.
Yes.
But like fundamentally you would disagree with the concept though.
Yes, I disagree with their concept, but I wouldn't disrespect them.
You would never disrespect them, okay.
I wouldn't disrespect anyone for no reason, at least.
The whole reason why I asked you if you being heterosexual was a choice was because to kind of frame it in a way that it's like, if you didn't choose to be straight, then I feel like they probably didn't choose to be gay. Do you see the argument like I'm trying to form?
It could be genetic. It could be a choice. I'm not sure the scientific implications.
Let's go with two hypotheticals. If being gay was a choice, then would you say like it is wrong for people to choose being gay?
I wouldn't agree with it, but that's their choice and their life, and I can't really. I don't really have any say about their choices, right?
Okay. Well, I think being gay is not a choice because I mean, for me, it's like, why would someone choose to be gay when they know they're gonna get more hate for it? You know?
Exactly. I mean,